make more time.
And good evening and welcome to another edition of Sports Corner. My name is Ralph Williams. It's great to be here tonight. We're here every single Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Just got back here to Studio 808 here in Allentown. Earlier, I was over at Studio A at Western Avenue, PCTV Studios, for my TV show, Sports Corner. We had our live call-in tonight. Hope to get some comments from you here on Sports Corner tonight. Just a few announcements tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon. The return of Mauler Talk, 4 p.m., excuse me. And then at 7 o'clock p.m. is Wrestle Chat. I'm going to have a special guest on with me, Jay White. I interviewed him tonight on The Way I See It, the TV version. And tonight I'm going to have I'm going to have Jay White on again tomorrow on Wrestle Chat. We're going to talk about WrestleMania. As you know, WrestleMania has just finished up. It was a great weekend. And so there we are with WrestleMania. It's over. We're going to dissect it tomorrow night, me and Jay White. And Jay's going to talk about his new his company called Blam, where he is going to do a wrestling movie or some kind of a TV series where he's going to have he's going to do the independent circuit here in the Pittsburgh area, and he's going around getting familiar with the independent circuit and so on. All right, it's great to be here again tonight. As I mentioned, your comments are always welcome right here, and I'll read them off as we go. Tonight, we're going to once again start off with a little bit of this tonight. Seems like we have finished up NCAA basketball for the year. St. Peter's did what they did. North Carolina did what they did. Coach K didn't get what he wanted, and that was a championship to finish out his career. He's retired now, Coach K. St. Peter's lost their coach to Seton Hall, and all their players are leaving. So, what's next for college basketball? Another tournament next year. Kansas won it this year in the men's. South Carolina won it in the women's. And we here in Pittsburgh can only dream about that. We have three sad teams, Pitt, Duquesne, and Robert Morris, who haven't done anything. It's a sad state of affairs here in Pittsburgh for college basketball. Too bad, because we hosted the NCAA, and it's a really sad shame that we had to endure all these losses and so on. But you'll understand what I'm saying. Uh-oh. Next year, when the same three teams go down and use the transfer portal as their excuse. All right, that was my commentary for tonight. As we are starting off here tonight, we're going to talk about the draft a little bit tonight. The NFL draft coming up at the end of April, as you well know. Updates today for the Steelers. Two Steeler players. Josh Dobbs, as you know, he's a free agent. He tried out today with the Ravens. And Taco Charlton signed with the Saints. Now, my friend Smoking Jim Frazier is not going to like this one. Andy Dalton has signed with the Saints. And that is some of the updated moves in the NFL today as well. And also update news, Pitt to pursue four-star center Frank Kebnak. He's a transfer from Oregon. That's in basketball. I don't know. I'm not sold on Jeff Capel. $15 million buyout clause. His brother's a jerk. I don't know if I'd want to play for Pitt either. Either he has to fix this dynamic with his brother being where he is, or there's going to be major problems, I think, as far as the Pitt basketball team goes. All right, the Steelers are getting ready to go into the draft. Several mock drafts out there, as you know. The one that I saw recently was that the Steelers are going to trade down. And what they're going to do is they're going to trade down and they're going to go to 17 Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. They're going to take Derek Stingley Jr., whose dad was once the head coach of the old defunct Pittsburgh Power, as you know. And it turns out that they are talking about the Steelers taking Derek Stingley Jr. as their first round pick and then trading up to number 30 and trade with whoever's at number 30 to take Matt Corral. So the Steelers are going to work on trying to have their cake and eat it too. The question I have for the Steelers is this: where in the world are you going to find the draft capital to do this? Now, unless this team, whoever it is, decides that they're going to take, let's say, I don't know, 30, or I would say probably draft picks for next year or the next couple of years, and say, well, I really only want one draft pick for this year. Okay. That's probably the only way it's going to work out for the Steelers. And in order for that to work out, that's probably what's going to have to happen. The last draft for Kevin Colbert, he's stepping down, he's retiring, new GM's going to be taking place. A lot of people are unhappy with it. I had Claudia Rosano on filling in tonight for me on the TV show. And he even said that he thought that Kevin Colbert should have stepped down before the draft, let the new guy put his finger on this one. But Kevin Colbert decided that he is going to be the guy that has his last draft before he goes away in the sunset. Now, he's supposed to possibly be working with the Steelers in another capacity, but we're going to find out. Steelers are real close to signing the Sunflower or the Wallflower or whatever his name is. They're in the process of signing him, possibly. Talk tonight about Terrell Edmonds not being signed. That's fine with me. I don't have an issue with that. The Steelers, I believe, need to look at both lines of scrimmage, as I've said many times. And they possibly need to go get a wide receiver, or they're going to need two, probably. They're probably going to need two wide receivers, and they're going to need to at least, I would look at the defensive line in the first round. I look at Travis Jones, defensive lineman, 6'4", 336. He's from Connecticut, big guy, can knock the offensive guy off and get to the quarterback. He's one of the top 5 defensive linemen in the draft. So I'm thinking the Steelers take him kind of like a Casey Hampton kind of thing. He's a big dude, and he can clog things up and give Cam Hayward a little bit of an opportunity, because I think Olawu and I think Tuitt are both gone, should be gone, will shed their salaries. I like Olawu, but he's getting a little old, and the injuries are starting to pile up. Stephon Tuitt, he's been hurt, and his brother passed away. He still hasn't gotten over it yet. He may not even play football again. Nobody knows. Colbert keeps telling everybody that he perhaps may be coming back, but we'll find out. There's going to be a makeshift offensive line this year. They signed Jeff Daniels from Chicago. They signed Mason Cole, formerly from Tampa Bay. Or I'm sorry, Minnesota. He played for Tampa Bay before that, but he was with Minnesota. And he could possibly be our starting center. I mean, the Steelers have to fix the offensive line in order for Mitch Trubisky, Mason Rudolph, or whoever is going to be the quarterback to be able to conduct business with the offense. As I mentioned before earlier tonight on PCTV, I had my live call-in. It's usually on the first Thursday of the month. Tonight it was Tuesday because the station has other obligations on Thursday. So I got my show moved to Tuesday night. And it turns out that we had a pretty interesting chat, myself and Claudia. We had one caller that called in tonight, and he wanted to sell insurance instead of talking with us about sports. But at least he called. He said he liked the show, so there we are. All right. So that's the story with that. And getting back to the Steelers, it turns out Mike Tomlin's going to be in his first season without a franchise quarterback. So let's find out what he's going to do this year. Brian Flores as his defensive assistant / linebackers coach, and also Terrell Austin as the defensive coordinator. There should be no excuse that the Steelers should not at least compete this year or probably even make it into the playoffs. I think that if they take a quarterback or they take as Travis Jones in the first round, I think the Steelers and the offensive line should take Dan Falali, 6'9", 380 from Minnesota. I saw him in the Senior Bowl. He played great. I know he's a big dude, and I know that he can blow everybody off the line. Don't forget about the comment section here, as we're live here on YouTube tonight. As always, every single solitary Tuesday night, 8 p.m., we are here on YouTube Sports Corner. My name is Ralph Williams. In case you are new to the show, you want to make your comments, feel free to do so as well. All right. Also, the Steelers signed Gerard Avery and re-signed Carl Joseph, safety. They need some safety help a little bit. Terrell Edmonds, Joe Hayden being gone. I see a few opening spots there. Joe Hayden. I appreciate the fact that Joe Hayden's been here as long as he has, but the older he gets, the more he has issues. All right, Carl Joseph, he's re-signed from last year. They signed him as a free agent. He played for Cleveland. And you know something, when he played for Cleveland, he was a nightmare against the Steelers. So now that he's a Steeler, let's see if he can be a nightmare for everybody else. So we'll find out how that works out. All right, let's go into the Pirates a little bit. The opening day roster was set. I gave the roster out last week. I had Marty Leap on with me. We talked about the Pirates last week. The Pirates lost today, by the way, 5-1. Both Greg Allen and Anthony Alfart are both hurt. And I don't know where the Pirates are going to go with the outfield now, because they only got Ben Gamble and Brian Reynolds. Chavis is supposed to be a utility-type player, and so is that Kong Hoi Park, or whatever his name is. And Yoshimama, or whatever, also is supposed to be a utility player as well. My question to you is, do they have the talent to win? Can they win any games? Well, I'm sure they can win some games. They have a new hitting instructor, Andy Haynes. Nothing else has really changed that much. Minor league, the organizations in the minor league system have changed management all across the board with different guys this year. They're blaming these guys for the regression of the minor league system. I blame Neil Huntington for cleaning out our minor league system, selling off everything and forgetting about it. I'm glad he got fired. I'm glad he's no longer with the Pirates, and I'm glad we have Ben Cherington. And a lot of people still, there's a trust factor there, everybody. The trust factor is about Bob Nutting. In case you don't know, over the many years, Bob Nutting has told lies to the Pittsburgh Pirate fans. And a lot of fans, they just don't get it. They don't understand that, you shouldn't lie to the fan base if you expect them to show up at your games. I'm saying this every year for as long as Frank Coonley was in charge of the team and Neil Huntington were here, Bob Nutting would take the mic and he would get on every spring training and go, "We have a team this year. We're going to win the championship." Really, Bob Nutting? So Bob Nutting's been a liar. He's told a lot of lies. He won't spend any money. I don't blame him. I mean, first of all, he's a very successful businessman. He's making money. But the downfall of this whole thing is it's affecting his team because he's not doing what he normally does as far as, you got to spend money to make money, as they used to say. So he's got to spend some money and make some money. But in order to make the money, you got to have the players there for people to want to go see. You got to sign some name players. You got to quit selling everything off. Every year, it seems like that's what the Pirates do. And then they want to know why nobody comes to PNC Park because of that. They lost to Boston on Saturday, 7-2. And Thursday's their first regular season game. Rumors keep circulating that San Diego wants Brian Reynolds. I don't see the Pirates trading Brian Reynolds as much as they probably could get some good prospects for him. But they have to start building with Reynolds, Ke'Bryan Hayes, and some of these other guys. They have to start building with them, or The Pirates are just going to be a continually last losing team of nothing but a bunch of losers. And I think Derek Sheldon, this will be his third season, should be held walking on eggshells because I wouldn't keep him as the manager. It's going on his third year, and I haven't seen anything from him. All right. Last year with COVID, or 2 years ago with COVID, they were 11-40 or something like that. So they didn't really have not they have not done good at all. But you know something? The thing that really bothers me is that the Pirates just don't seem to have the talent. I don't care who you are. I don't care what kind of great manager you are. If you don't have the horses, you can forget about it. And right now, the Pirates don't have the horses. They don't, and they never have had the horses, and I don't think they ever will until Bob Nutting sells the team. Because I don't think Bob Nutting's ever, and I say ever, going to put any money into this baseball team. And that's exactly the story there. I don't think he will, and I don't think he's going to. And I don't think he'll even bother. I don't care if Bob Nutting won $1 billion tomorrow. He would never, ever put it into the Pirates. He sold his ski resorts. He still hasn't put money into the Pirates. I think it's crazy that he just basically sits there and collects money, and it's a shame. And you know what's sad? People let it happen. They're working on a contract extension with Ke'Bryan Hayes, and we'll see how that works out for the Pirates. I'm going to talk about the Penguins a little bit. Rochelle working out real well. The new guy they brought in or they traded for. They're 41-19-10. They're playing tonight against the Avalanche at PPG Paints Arena. And I'll see if I can get you a score here real quick. All right, 2-1 Colorado, 9 minutes into the second period. So let's go Pens. All right. Jason Zucker hurt again. He was hurt for a while. He was out, and then he just got hurt again for a second time. That's sad about him. I think if the goaltending keeps up good, and I think if they can keep Crosby and Malkin healthy, Gensel can get in there. This Rochelle guy, Boyle. Boyle has been the kind of guy, and I've said this before, he's been the kind of guy that's kind of been a little off the radar. No one's really accounted for him, which is a good thing because he could score some goals, and you're like, where'd that guy come from? Yeah, exactly. So I think the playoffs are coming up. I've said this before. I'll say it again. I think the Penguins have a very long road to hoe as far as that goes as well. The Pitt football program, Jake Renda is involved in a tight end battle with Gavin Bartholomew. They have a pretty good tight end bunch this year. I think Pitt's going to do okay. The football team has some concern because you have a new quarterback, a new offensive coordinator, and the question's going to be, can the offensive line handle the running game? Okay. Don't forget the last, 3-4 seasons of Mark Whipple. We ended up doing this pass attack, pick it to pass. That was it. We didn't have much of a running game, but, now, we have good running backs. So let's use them. So I'm thinking if you're going to use the good running backs, Frank Cignetti's the perfect, offensive coordinator for you. Not only just run the ball, but also play action and passing. And that'll help your quarterback out. The question is, who is going to be the quarterback? Is it going to be Keldon Slovis or is it going to be Nick Patty? Nick Patty's given a fight from what I hear. I also hear Clayton Slovis is having a good spring camp. Training camp will tell the story when that comes up in August. Saturday is the Pitt Blue Gold game, 1 p.m. Heinz Field is free. That's why I'm going. If it's free, it's for me, and no shame in my game. Ah, my, oh my, oh my, oh my. Isn't that funny? That is some laughing stuff, man. Yes, indeed. Oh, yeah. So anyway, it's free, starts at 1 p.m. There's going to be some celebrity, I guess if you want to call them celebrity, guest coaches for that day. Your comments are welcome in the comments section. Don't forget about Sports Corner TV version on PCTV every Friday at 5 p.m. I just did my live call-in tonight. It'll be on probably in the next week or two on Saturday at 5 p.m. Also, don't forget 4 o'clock, the Boxing Authorities with my good buddies Luther Dupree, Smoking Jim Frazier, Claudio Rosano at 4. 5 o'clock, myself, Smoking Jim Frazier, and the Sports Corner Show. And then at 6, we have Steel City Sports World, Claudio Rosano, Luther Dupree, Smoking Jim Frazier as well. And then don't forget about Sports Corner on Sunday night, 9 o'clock p.m. We are in Studio B here at Studio 808. We're in Studio B. We'll be live on Facebook, not here, live on Facebook Sunday night at 9 o'clock, 9:30 the way I see it on Sunday. Don't forget to leave your comments here in the comments section. I don't know. Don't be afraid. I'll read off your comments as we go. But don't be afraid. Come on and comment in the comment section. So, what's your thoughts tonight on Pitt football? Frank Cignetti Jr. back as our offensive coordinator, was here during the Wannstedt era, coached at Indiana University of Pennsylvania, did well there, made some stops in the NFL. He was back in college with Boston College as their offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. That's the job he'll have here. As it turns out, it looks Pitt could be a decent team this year, and we will find out what happens. Can they repeat as ACC champions? Maybe. But we'll find out when the season gets started as to where they're going to go. Speaking of Pitt, let's talk about their basketball program. I feel Horton this week has decided to go to the transfer portal. In a sense, I don't blame him. He claims Pitt mistreated him after he had his arrest. The thing that bothers me here is, here's a guy who got arrested on the South Side. Now, I don't know if he's innocent or guilty. I can't say that. I'm not the law. I don't know. But you never, ever, and in no way, shape, or form, do you ever hit a cop or put your hands on a police officer or anything like that. In no way, shape, or form do you do that. You just don't. It's not right to do that, okay? And then if you do it, you're going to get yourself more in the jackpot than where you were. Now, he was arrested for that. He got off on the first hearing, and then the Pittsburgh police went and filed another more charges. So he had to go back to court. All right. Now, all that time that he was going back to court, he was on and off the team. So for his father to get on Twitter and make derogatory comments about Pitt, now I can understand Jeff Capel because he's a horrible coach right now. He's not doing well at all. Hasn't since he's been here. And Pitt can't do anything with him because he has a $15 million buyout clause. So it's hard to do something for somebody or to get rid of somebody when you have that kind of a buyout clause. Heather Lyke was the one that made it that way. I'm surprised Pitt hasn't fired her for that. Because why would you give somebody a $15 million signing bonus, or I'm sorry, $15 million buyout clause? Then you can't buy out his contract. You can't fire him. Then you have to wait till his contract runs out and then forget about it. All right. But that's what's going on right now with the status of the Pitt program. Heather Lyke was just recently had a news conference where she announced that Jeff Capel's job is secure. She has faith in him and that he can hire and fire his own assistants, which means his brother, who happens to be the jerk of this whole thing and is chasing these players out of here, will not get fired because he's Jeff Capel's brother. All right, former Lincoln Park star Nellie Cummings, who was with Colgate, will be coming to Pitt. He's a point guard. You know, you can never have enough point guards, as they say. It's just like you can never have enough quarterbacks either, but you can never have enough you can never have enough of point guards in basketball. The NFL will talk about the return of Tom Brady. You know what? This is just really amazing. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Tom Brady. I think he's a show off. I think he's 45, 46 years old. If I'm his age, I'm not doing that kind of stuff. So, you know, I don't know what's going on. Maybe his wife has expensive habits. I'm 45 years old. I'm done with it. I'm staying home. I'm not messing around with that stuff. You know, at that age, I don't have time for it. But he happens to be somebody who is greedy. He's not only greedy for the money, I think, but he's also greedy because, in case you're not aware, he has 5 Super Bowl rings on one finger and 2 on the other. So that's 7 Super Bowls. He wants to get the other 3 to fill both hands. So, do you think Tom Brady can do that? Do you think he will be able to do that? Well, he chased out a good coach in Bruce Arians, who I thought was a great coach, and I always will think he is a good coach. Okay. But the answer to this question of will he make the Hall of Fame? Nobody, there's people that think he may not because, first of all, there are guys ahead of him that, despite only having 1 Super Bowl win, they have coached more games than he has as far as the regular season goes. Because don't forget, he was an assistant for a long time till he had to take over for Chuck Pagano in Indianapolis when the Colts when Chuck Pagano was down with cancer for a little while, and he had to take over as head coach, and then he got hired by Tampa Bay, and you have Tom Brady. Also, Todd Bowles, defensive coordinator for Tampa Bay, has been bumped up to the head coaching position. Todd Bowles is an interesting scenario too because I never thought in anybody's right mind would Todd Bowles ever be another assistant or another head coach because of the New York Jets. But I was told he coached well with the Jets, just didn't have the horses to put everything together. And you know, a coach is only as good as his players, and a players are only as good as their coach. It works both ways. And if you don't have both chemistries like that, you could forget about it. You know, I mean, that's just how it goes. But anyway, Todd Bowles, Rob Gronkowski, another liar, says he don't know if he's coming back, but he wishes Coach Arians a success in his retirement. He's another one supposed to work somewhere in the organization. I say he should clean toilets or whatever he's going to do. But college basketball, we know about what happened with Kansas winning it all. I thought North Carolina would have done better. They made too many mistakes, and you know their coach is young. He still has a good young core of players. So let's see what North Carolina does with with their players. All right, reports are out that Sheehan Holloway, coach of St. Peter's, has finalized the deal to coach for Seton Hall. You know who was the coach at Seton Hall, don't you? Kevin Willard, former Pitt coach, Ralph Willard's son. He also was a player here for a little while. He played for the Pitt Panthers as well. So speaking of Pitt basketball, they're pursuing 4-star center Frank Kemning. He's a transfer from Oregon. So I just want to let you guys know that as well. And the Steelers today brought in Kyle Hamilton. He's a cornerback from Notre Dame. You know, there's rumors going on, and I told you before earlier in the broadcast that I believe the Steelers, who knows, you never know, might go for a corner in the first round. And as I said to Claudia Rosano on my TV show earlier tonight, I think the Steelers put up a smokescreen. I think they're pretending like they're going to take a quarterback, and all these teams are going to go this way, and the Steelers are going to do their thing this way. So you see what I'm saying? So I think the Steelers may do okay. Again, they may not. I'm not exactly sure how they're going to do it. Anyway, that's about it for right now as far as updates go and other sports. But anyway, I believe that the River Hounds, they won the other night 2-0 against London over the weekend. You know, the River Hounds have been pretty decent. They got some good players. Bob Lilly's their coach. He's a really good coach. And I think the River Hounds can win again in soccer this year as well. I wanted to tell you a few more announcements. Don't forget my wrestling shows tomorrow, 7 p.m. Wrestle Chat with me, Ralph Williams. We'll talk over WrestleMania. I have Jay White coming on. And then Thursday night at 8 o'clock, 347-205-9631. Blog Talk Radio. Call that number and you'll be able to listen and participate in Wrestle Talk with myself and my co-host Mark Mancini for markmancini.com and also on other platforms as well. And you need to tune into that show. We'll talk about WrestleMania. Tune in tomorrow. I have Jay White coming on. Jay White is going to be talking about, he's got this organization called Blam, where he is trying to put a movie or TV series together about independent wrestling here in Pittsburgh. And that's great. He's going to put Pittsburgh on the map. That sounds really good, and I'm glad for him. And we're going to have him on tomorrow. We're going to talk WrestleMania tomorrow night, 7 p.m. 4 o'clock Mauler Talk. Don't forget, we're going to talk about Pittsburgh Maulers, the USFL, what's going on, schedules, and networks you can catch the Riverhounds on. I'll tell you what, it's so bad right now. I think the Riverhounds are going to be giving away free tickets real soon in some places because that's what I think could be happening. I'm not real sure, but we're going to find out. Pens are down 3-1 in the second period. 3-1. For some reason, can't beat the Avalanche. They seem like a very, very tough team. Bill Stahl, former Pitt quarterback, is now the new quarterbacks coach at Pine Richland, who is now coached by John Ladon. And I got to tell you, John Ladon, Bill Stahl, you guys better be careful. Pine Richland's got one heck of an administration. They got rid of Coach K, Eric Kasparovich. They'll get rid of you as well. They don't hesitate to do so. And that's a fact right here as far as Pine Richland goes. They're a bunch of creeps. They went ahead and did what they did to Coach K. I thought that was sad about what they did to Eric Kasparovich. I think they should get on TV, tell everybody that they laid an egg and that they're sorry for Coach K, but I don't think that's ever going to happen because I think they have too much pride. That's either pride or stupidity, whichever one it is. I don't know. I was always told stupid never takes a vacation. So we'll see what's going on otherwise. So there we are. All righty. This has been Sports Corner. We're cutting it a little short tonight because I had to do my live call-in show earlier tonight. So we're cutting this a little bit short, but that's fine. If you have any last-minute comments you want to comment on, feel free to do so. Don't forget about the wrestling shows this week. The way I see it, I'll be back here Friday at 7 p.m. We have a lot to talk about on Friday. Saturday, 5 p.m. PCTV. Channel 21 Comcast 47 Verizon Cable. And that show will be on at 7 p.m. on Friday. The way I see it, I'm working on getting a guest on, folks. I've been trying. It's been kind of hard. For some strange reason, there's a certain breed of or certain thing of people around here, both in the sports and the regular media, that don't seem to want to be on my shows for some unknown reason. I don't know. Maybe you know someone who knows. Maybe your cousin knows. Somebody has to know as to why the media people in this town don't seem to want to be on my show. I've tried to get Pittsburgh Sportsnet people on. Not one of them ever returned my phone call. And here we are with that problem now. And so, it's hard sometimes to get guests on. They're busy as well as I am. And so is everybody else. All right, this has been Sports Corner tonight with me, Ralph Williams. You have yourselves a great night and be safe.